Like a fine wine, these gaming moments only got better with age. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 defining video game moments of the century. For this list, we'll be looking at the events and games from the year 2000 to the present that left our collective jaws on the floor. There are a lot of words we can use to describe these moments, like astounding or amazing, but it's best to see for yourself. Because there are so many amazing moments, only one entry per franchise will be allowed. And be warned, there will be spoilers within.
Athena.
Number 20, Tidus and Yuna embrace. Final Fantasy X. We're starting off with a sequence that was released all the way back in 2001, and yet the beauty of this incredible CG sequence still holds up to this day. Over the course of the game, Tidus and Yuna had the chance to have some incredible heart-to-heart moments, even if the internet laughed at a particular one. Yet, it's this scene that established them as one of the most iconic video game couples ever, and it's easy to see why. The beautiful romantic setting, the build-up and emotional payoff, the beautiful Tsutaki Dane, or Isn't It Wonderful, by Japanese singer Riki, all blends together in this artistic wonder. Number 19. Suicide Mission, Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2's final moments remain one of the greatest climaxes in all of gaming. Everything depends on the entirety of your preparation alone, and the complexity of the choices remains astounding. If you haven't prepared the Normandy correctly, or sent a crew to do a task they're not cut out for, someone can die. If you lose everyone, you'll die too. It serves as the ultimate final task and the perfect closure to this incredible space opera. If only the rest of the series followed suit.
Jacob!
Number 18. Sora's Sacrifice, Kingdom Hearts.
Sora! Hold on!
While a lot of entries rely on killing to make gameplay intense and exciting, it's always nice to be reminded of our better nature through games, and there's nothing more human than a truly selfless act to save the life of another. Thus, when Sora plunges the Keyblade into his chest to sacrifice his heart so that it can save Kairi and the Disney princesses, it reminds us all of the power of humanity to do good in the face of evil.
Sora!
Even more defining was the result, as Kairi would in turn protect Sora, allowing him to return to human form. Although we would later learn it was also this action that allowed for Roxas to be born.
Kairi, thank you. Sora!
Sora!
Number 17. The first Colossus Encounter, Shadow of the Colossus. There are few experiences in gaming as awe-inspiring as the first time you encountered a Colossus. Seeing this hulking beast off in the distance, and you realize you can climb it and eventually kill it, was a level of interactivity we weren't expecting in the mid-2000s. However, the ambiguous feeling we were left with after the Colossus bled out and fell to its death is what stayed with us to this day, and continued to stay with us for everyone we killed. Killing something so beautiful and majestic is something that would leave us conflicted. Number 16. The Bathtub, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Of all the ways you could start this long-awaited third entry, we certainly weren't expecting this. Introducing Geralt lounging naked in the bathtub, this seemingly innocuous scene sent fans into a frenzy, and even became a popular meme online. Hell, just looking at this image would trigger 1,000 comments. Even the live-action show on Netflix referenced this meme. There isn't much to say about the scene, but there is a lot to look at. It may not be the most eventful moment, but it's the most memorable in the series. Seriously, once you see this image, it will forever remain burned in your memory. Number 15, John Marston's Last Stand, Red Dead Redemption.
Whatever happens, keep the doors locked and your mother inside. Promise me, son. Promise me.
Red Dead Redemption 2 was full of memorable moments, including Arthur showing his vulnerable side and admitting he's terrified of his tuberculosis. The most defining moment of the series came at the end of the original Redemption, however. Trapped inside a barn by the law he had helped through the entire game, players are faced with a last stand situation with no chance of survival. Deadeye activates for John Marston's last moment so that he can take down as many as possible. After this devastating shock, however, came the ultimate form of vengeance with John's son Jack. Number 14, Ezio meets Altair and Desmond, Assassin's Creed Revelations.
No books. No wisdom. Just you, fratello mio.
While Revelations may not be the strongest Assassin's Creed title, it does house some of the franchise's incredible moments. Since Altair, Ezio, and Desmond all lived in different time periods, the chances of them crossing paths was thought impossible. But Ezio defied all this by finding his ancestor Altair's corpse in a desolate library, and gets the opportunity to witness his final moments through a precursor artifact.
Desmond?
He's talking to me?
I heard your name once before, Desmond.
Shortly after, he manages to speak to his descendant, Desmond Miles, bypassing hundreds of years of separation. This ending was surprising, groundbreaking, and mind-blowing. Imagine meeting your descendants hundreds of years from now. What would you tell them?
Now, listen.
Number 13, the Marshmello Event, Fortnite. Yes, love it or hate it, Fortnite continues to redefine video game culture. While it didn't create the Battle Royale genre, its overwhelming impact on mainstream pop culture remained influential. It was able to create news headlining events, and it all started having a Marshmello Concert live and in-game. It felt like playing the future. It completely changed the way that pop culture can influence video games, and brought about an era of in-game events from various series, including a Thanos experience and later a Star Wars one. Hell, with everyone locked down and in quarantine now, this moment actually proves to be much more ahead of its time. Number 12, Ravenholm, Half-Life 2.
That's the old passage to Ravenholm. We don't go there anymore.
There are few developers out there that are as committed to such defining and innovating moments as Valve has been able to do. The horror-themed stage in Half-Life 2 was not only scary, but really showed off what the Source engine was capable of in the mid-2000s, as we were able to manipulate giant saw blades with our newly obtained gravity gun, slice enemies in half, and launch exploding barrels into the distance. The level of freedom this stage brought gamers felt like a revolution at its time. It just goes to show how big of a deal Valve truly is, and to this day. Number 11, the train sequence, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. We take it for granted nowadays that Uncharted gave us elaborate, interactive action sequences, but perhaps the franchise's finest moment of this regard happened over a decade ago. The amount of attention to detail in the train sequence in Among Thieves was mind-blowing, and it actually felt like you were playing a Michael Bay movie on a home console. Tons of shootouts, blasting down helicopters, surviving death-defying traps. Oh, and the fact that the background doesn't repeat, as is usually the case with train levels from other games. This moment came to define the series moving forward. Number 10, New Donk City Celebration, Super Mario Odyssey. The fact that Mario has continued to be a pop culture mainstay for 4 decades now speaks volumes about his legacy, and this celebration in New Donk City serves as an incredible tribute to his name. It's a blast from the past as you take control of retro Mario and run through the various 2D side-scrolling levels while a concert plays in the background. Mario even gets to relive his origin stories as he comes face to face with a surprise cameo appearance from Donkey Kong, and all to the sound of one of the catchiest songs to come out of the gaming this century. Number 9. Fighting the Boss. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. Face me.
There are more than enough amazing moments in the Metal Gear series to pick from since the year 2000. Returning to Shadow Moses Island, in all of its PS1 era polygonal glory, during a flashback in Metal Gear Solid 4, was certainly unforgettable. But defeating the boss was essentially the moment that Jack became Big Boss. The moment that the student was reluctantly forced to take the life from his teacher. That means you had to pull the trigger, whom we had believed had turned traitorous. This moment carried even more devastating weight during the ending, when Big Boss finally learns the truth about why the boss did what she did. Number 8. You Died, the Soulsborne series. The Soulsborne franchise has had an immense impact on future games, as its challenging combat system was implemented into many franchises to come. One of the most iconic lines, however, wasn't praise the sun, it was what happened when you were killed. The blatant "You died" screen infuriated and humoured players, so much so that it became a massive meme. While Demon Souls was the first to use the term, many felt the broader popularity of Dark Souls made it infamous. Yet, it showed us all that immense satisfaction can come from challenge. So, no matter how many times we saw these 7 letters, we were just as eager to try again. Number 7. Lighting Halo, Halo 3. In the first Halo game, we learned that lighting the Halo would cause all sentient life in the galaxy to be wiped out, all in an effort to starve the parasitic flood. So what happens when you light an unfinished one? You get this incredible white-knuckled escape sequence that capped off the finale of the original trilogy. This had us tingling all over in excitement, the environment exploding all around us, trying to avoid getting killed by the lingering enemies, and just trying to stay the hell alive on the way back to the ship's hangar is about as nerve-wracking as gaming gets. Not to mention the epic theme song playing in the background.
Floor it right into the hangar.
Number 6. The Village Attacks, Resident Evil 4.
I was wondering if you might recognize the girl in this photograph?
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? ¡Lárgate, cabrón!
This was the moment in Resident Evil 4 when Leon first showed up in the village, when players realized this game was going to be something else. While previous Resident Evil titles were made up of zombies that you could easily avoid or outrun, Resident Evil 4's village arrival set the stage for what was to be an intense rollercoaster. Not only are enemies more aggressive and intelligent, their sheer numbers could easily leave the player overwhelmed. It was harrowing, tense, and we were only just getting started.
Vayan por detrás.
Who are these people?
Number 5. By the Book, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Now our friend here, he claims he doesn't know anything.
I don't know anything. I don't know. I already told nothing. I don't know anything.
You can't talk about a century in gaming without mentioning Grand Theft Auto. And you can't mention Grand Theft Auto without mentioning the controversy it caused with every major release.
Choose your instrument and go to work on it. Where do we start, eh, buddy?
Determined to find the infamous Mr. K, your job is to get the suspect to talk by any means necessary. Not only can you choose which torture device to use, but you also have to monitor his heart rate to make sure you don't accidentally kill him while torturing him. It's not for the faint of heart, but it continues to show that Rockstar is eager to push the boundaries further than any other developers out there.
That is a wrap, my friends. Excellent work, the pair of you. Now, I got a racquetball game to get to, so Trevor, if you take care of Mr. K, I think we're all set.
Number 4. Joel's Lie, The Last of Us.
Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually.
There is a very good reason why so many gamers continue to talk about The Last of Us, and this scene is just one of many examples. Having seen Joel and Ellie's relationship flourish over the course of the game, Joel has a moral dilemma. Save Ellie, or sacrifice her at the slim chance of a world-saving vaccine.
What are you doing in here? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Joel instead chooses Ellie and proceeds to kill the Fireflies, only to be confronted by Ellie afterwards. Ellie asking Joel to swear to him that he's telling the truth was extremely hard to watch, and his answer was even more so. And to this day, everyone continues to debate whether or not Joel made the right decision.
I swear.
Okay.
Number 3. White Phosphorus Bombing. Spec Ops: The Line.
You've seen what this shit does. You know we
might not have a choice, Lugo.
There's always a choice. No, there's really not.
It was one of the most surprising and brutal scenes in gaming ever. There are plenty of war games, as we'll see later, but none of them make you face the gravity of your decisions like this. Both heartbreaking and jaw-dropping, players are forced to walk through the disfigured bodies of soldiers they had just bombed with white phosphorus, and on a civilian camp.
Why?
You brought this on yourself.
Not only did this leave gamers with a haunting scene they would never forget, but it also made them aware of the devastating consequences of this not so well-known real-life weapon. If you weren't talking about white phosphorus after playing this, you weren't paying attention.
No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
Number 2. Would You Kindly? Bioshock.
In the end, what separates a man from a slave?
It's gone down in history as one of the most popular video game plot twists of all time. How something so subtle as a colloquial phrase could actually be a weapon for something more sinister. Learning that our protagonist, Jack, had been under mind control of Atlas through the words, "Would you kindly," in order to assassinate Andrew Ryan, was a twist we never saw coming, and one we've never seen since. It's hard to understate how important this moment is in video game narratives, growing up and dealing with subjects once unheard of in gaming.
Obey!
Before we unveil this century's most defining moment so far, here are a few honorable mentions.
You will always be a monster.
I know. But I am your monster no longer.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success.
You have to shoot me, honey.
Lee, no.
It's okay. It's okay.
Want more video game content? Check out our gaming channel Mojo Plays and discover games and ideas you never knew existed. With more lists, breakdowns, and our latest series, Arcade Roulette.
Justin and John are in!
Oh.
Hey, is that Porky Pig? There's a lot of things being ripped off in this game.
Number 1. The Nuke. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Something has happened.
How many games gave us missions where you fought hard to survive, only to be killed no matter what? Not many, right? Not only did Modern Warfare do this, but it pulled it off with a tragic weight rarely seen in games, as the final moments of Sergeant Jackson's life, with the mushroom clouds rolling towards him, are shocking and unforgettable. It would take its sequel in Modern Warfare 2 to give us the same sense of shock with the airport massacre in No Russian. Arguably, both these moments combined helped Call of Duty in making it the defining juggernaut it is today. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.